Hey everyone, happy Friday. It is once again Fresh Bottle Friday, as we call it, and we've got our friend Anthony here, who is going to help us out. Fresh Bottle Friday, of course. We're helping you get your payday purchases in line, and as always...
Fresh Bottle Poppin'!
That was a good one.
That was a pretty good one. I felt good about that.
So what we're drinking here, I suppose we should say, is a Buffalo Trace store pick, actually, from Stark's, which is one of our favorite liquor stores. It's about an hour from here.
Single barrel Buffalo Trace.
Single barrel. And Anthony has this because he works for 608 Brewery just down the street, and they are barrel aging some beer in that barrel.
Mm-hmm. That should be a tasty beer.
Yeah.
It's going to be like probably 14% going in, so it's going to be a hefty beer.
Yeah.
Is it going to be a stout? Is it going to be
Going to be a stout on this one, yep. We've been kind of working our stout recipe to get to a place where we like putting it in, and we've been coming out with some crazy thick stouts that have been tasting really good. So
I'm excited to try that.
I'm sure you guys are excited to have like a Buffalo Trace barrel going into your beer. I feel like that kind of, sells itself. Really.
Well, we've had a couple Buffalo Trace stuff come through, barrel-wise, I believe. But this one is kind of interesting because it's being the store pick barrel. It's probably the nicest looking barrel we have come through.
It's very fancy.
It's very fancy. It's not like muddy and rusty looking like all the other ones are. But it's also probably the driest because it's been sitting empty for a long time. So it's going to sit with the beer in an interesting way. It's going to be kind of an experiment. So
yeah.
So does that mean you're going to keep the beer in it longer? Or
that's a good... Time will tell. We don't really know.
You guys just keep tasting it along the way.
Yeah, we'll drill a hole in the side of it and then like put a nail in there so you can pop that nail whenever you want to taste it, and it makes it really convenient.
I got to admit, just smelling it, doing the double barrel shotgun, both nostrils, not as much of a typical Buffalo Trace smell as what I'm used to. Like I was kind of expecting that Diet Eagle Rare thing that I talk about when talking about just regular
like
Buffalo Trace.
Diet Eagle Rare.
There's a little bit more like creaminess to the nose.
Yeah.
A little bit of vanilla coming through.
Yeah, I'd say more caramely than a regular Buffalo Trace. Yeah. Even a little more on the herbal side, I think, than regular Buffalo Trace. I'm not getting that like cherry Eagle Rare thing.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of like I was expecting more of that fruity note to come through. This one is more, I think, like in that baked goods genre.
The toffee caramel sweetness, that like sugary sweetness almost.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's gonna kick ass with a stout.
Yeah, that's the hope, man.
That's gonna be pretty well.
Yeah,
like most regular Buffalo Trace, not the most complex nose, but interesting because it's different. And that's kind of the thing with Buffalo Trace store picks. Buffalo Trace is not expensive bourbon, but if you find a store pick, I think it's always worth picking one up. It's a single barrel of this one of the more common bourbons out there, and you get to see like different aspects of the blend that go into making the Buffalo Trace.
Even of like the common bourbons, like this is one of those ones that I don't ever really feel bad about having on the shelf.
No,
it's just like it always holds up. Yeah. You go back to like you start drinking crappy whiskey. You get older, you drink better whiskey. You go back to drinking some of that crappy whiskey, like, oh, this is garbage, But Buffalo Trace never really does that for me. It's like, it's not super crazy, but like it's a solid one,
Nose is real nice, sweet, different from what we're used to, which is cool. It lets you know the single barrel is not bullshit. It's different.
It's different.
I'm different.
All right.
Let's get into it. Let's clink them and drink them.
Yeah.
First thoughts are that creaminess really carries through on the mouthfeel.
Yeah.
As opposed to a regular Buffalo Trace or even the 10-year version, Eagle Rare. I feel like that's thick.
That's super thick.
That's thicker than usual.
Velvety. But like incredibly easy to drink at that velvety, state.
Very smooth. If someone were to give this to me blind, I would not think it's Buffalo Trace.
Oh, yeah.
It's got a lot of those classic bourbon notes. Corn, cream, vanilla, a little bit of caramel. No real fruit, but there is some slight roasty, toasty barrel notes in there as well.
It definitely has that corn bite, like that.
Because like ethanol to that.
Yeah, like a lot of times I notice when I have like more corn flavor in a whiskey, like it thins it out. It feels like almost for some reason. This does not have that at all. You get that like that bright corn flavor without it being like super thin.
Right, and it's finishing pretty fucking oaky too.
Yeah,
as compared to a regular Buffalo Trace. Lingers, kind of dry, a little bitter.
Absolutely dry.
Yeah, it's solid. That's a
I
good
would not
pick.
call this diet Eagle Rare.
No way. No
this
way.
is kind of its own animal.
Yeah. Going back on the nose, I kind of started to pick up like a ripened fruit note, but it's kind of at the tail end of the smell.
This is super interesting.
Yeah.
Compared to a regular Buffalo Trace, this is quite different, quite good.
I can't get over the creaminess.
Yeah,
That's
really.
like wild.
Yeah, I mean, we're bordering on even like a Blanton's creaminess.
Yeah.
You know, like
Not with the Blanton's flavor, but
No,
with the
but
creaminess,
yeah.
I agree.
like the mouthfeel.
I get the whole mouth gets coated, but only like I only get the pop on the tongue. Like it's all very smooth, very easy to drink. On the rest of the whole experience is very easy to drink because of that.
I think it's a story of if you overlook Buffalo Trace, maybe you feel like in your bourbon wisdom or whatever, you're beyond it. If you see a store pick, take a shot.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to be too expensive, and you can get surprised out of it. Like, this is very surprising.
Yeah.
As compared to
Did
a
not
regular.
see that coming.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Really, really good. And,
Should we compare this to regular ass Buffalo Trace just to do it?
Do we have regular ass Buffalo
We
Trace?
do have regular ass Buffalo Trace.
We could do a quick one. The nose is so much fruitier.
Oh wow!
Like
Yeah,
sour
it's
apple-y
crazy.
almost. And this is
Yep.
like
This
that
is like
vanilla cream,
Yeah.
thick.
caramel, the sugar, like that. This is
That cherry, tart cherries kind of. Mm-hmm.
super tart.
It's a little bitter though too, you know. Like
It's almost kind of like I don't know, like earthy is the right word, but like
I can see kind of what you're getting at there.
Yeah.
Yeah, a
It's
little.
like- the way
grainy,
the
I
tart
think.
and the bitter and the fruit all mixed
Yeah.
together. It's like
Almost, I almost want to say like leaf pile or something.
yeah,
you know,
honestly, yeah.
Like,
when you jump in a leaf pile and how it almost like kind of like assaults your senses.
Yeah.
That's kind of what that is. Yeah, much more alcohol in the nose too with this one.
yeah.
yeah,
Like it's way this
stingy.
hits, it hits and it goes
a sharper nose on it. All right.
Anthony, let's hear you say it once.
clink 'em and drink 'em. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Wow, that is watery compared to the
not
other
even
one.
close.
That's so weird.
Super light bodied.
I mean, there is a good bit of vanilla there still, more than I remember there being in Buffalo Trace, but yeah,
Not nearly the same experience.
No.
like going down.
no.
The bitterness on this one too is much more prevalent. It's not as smooth. It's not as easy to drink.
In a weird way, I could probably drink a ton more of regular ass Buffalo just because it's so light. You're just fucking shooting that.
Yeah.
Where this is like, you can still drink quite a bit of it, no problem. But like that is way more. It slows you down. It hits so much thicker. You know.
I think what we're learning is how much a barrel can impart on a whiskey. It's
Barrel,
crazy.
warehouse, location,
This thing gives you
when it was made, you know.
I always have the most utmost respect for like the master distillers that do the blending. They know how to hit that flavor exactly every time when you're
Yeah.
pulling from
That's wild.
50 different barrels to try to make that happen.
Right,
whereas
right.
we got one, that's what it is. Like that blows my mind that you make Buffalo Trace taste the same every time when it's that much different. You
Well,
know, like
yeah.
I suppose it's similar to you with brewing, though. Like you're trying to hit those recipes.
Sure,
and,
yeah,
and get them.
totally.
And there's so many variables
Yeah.
that can go into it. That
especially with the barrel stuff, you know, like
Oh,
you,
yeah.
you kind of build the recipe going in, and you hope that the barrel takes it to where you want it to go by the time it's done. And you're sort of like taking it and letting it go in the hands of the barrel, like for a year.
I guess I've never thought about this. Are you making the beer with the specific idea of it going into the barrel, or are you barrel aging something that you've already made and thought like, oh, this might be good if we add it?
9 times out of 10, it's specifically going into a barrel. You
So
make
you-
it heavy, you make it thick, you make it as
Right.
high ABV as possible to hold up for that time.
So your finished product coming out of your process in the beginning isn't necessarily going to be like the best tasting beer. You're planning on a lot of stuff happening to
yeah.
it afterwards.
Like you want to make it good going in, but you know it's going to change so much in that process that
Right.
its current flavor isn't necessarily the most important thing at that time.
Right. It's kind of your white dog of the scenario.
Kind of, yeah. We have our Nebulous Void. It's our barrel beer, essentially.
The really black.
The really black, really thick, big stout. We've sort of worked with a recipe a little bit to figure out how we can get the most alcohol out of that beer, how we can get the most density out of that beer.
Mm-hmm.
And it itself is a good beer. You can do a lot with it. It's a good blank slate, but it really that beer really needs the barrel.
I guess in summation here, the single barrel is vastly different.
Yeah, very good.
Side by side, not even just from our memory of what Buffalo Trace is. When you put them side by side, it's a completely different animal. Definitely worth the minor
5-10
price
extra
tag
bucks.
you're going to pay
Yeah.
for it. So yeah, if you see Buffalo Trace single barrels out there, definitely give them a try.
Like, share, comment, all that good stuff. Have you ever had a Buffalo Trace single barrel? Thanks for tuning in to another Fresh Bottle Friday, and we'll see you next week on Wednesday.